1. The backyard stranger in a quiet suburban neighborhood. A young girl named Emily was spending her summer nights playing in the backyard, a familiar and safe place for her. One evening, as the sun set and darkness enveloped the yard, however, the looming presence outside continued to haunt her. Night after night, she would see the figure, always in the same spot, but never moving closer. When she described him a tall man in dark clothing with shadows obscuring his face, her parents began to worry. But still, they insisted it was just her imagination. She noticed a dark figure watching her from the edge of the trees. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but the figure remained motionless and silent. But it wouldn't budge. Suddenly, they heard whispers and footsteps in the attic above, making their blood run cold. Just as they thought they were trapped forever, they noticed a loose window. One by one, they climbed out, gasping for air. They fled into the woods, vowing never to return to that cursed cabin. The next day, local authorities reported that the cabin was officially condemned. Having been the site of multiple tragic disappearances over the last century, a grim reminder of untold horrors lurking just out of sight. Feeling a prickle of fear, Emily went inside to tell her parents. They dismissed her concerns, attributing it to an overactive imagination. On the second night, while sitting around the campfire, they decided to explore a nearby trail leading deeper into the forest. One night, while driving home from a friend's house, joking about their misfortune and texting for help, however, an eerie feeling crept over them as they noticed a figure emerge from the shadows of the trees. A tall man began to approach their vehicle, his face obscured by darkness. The couple locked the doors as fear set in, and they watched in terror as he continued to walk closer, seemingly unbothered by the night. They decided to take a scenic route along a lonely road lined with tall trees and dense woods. Just as they entered a particularly dark stretch of road, and the figure heard them coming. With an unsettling smile, he turned and disappeared into the woods as quickly as he had appeared. The couple's friends arrived moments later, and they quickly recounted the horror they had just experienced. After calling the police, they learned that a recent escapee from a nearby psychiatric hospital had been reported in the area, and many in the town had experienced terrifying encounters with the same man. From that night on, they avoided the lonely road at all costs, haunted by the fear of what could have happened if they had let the stranger in. Their car suddenly stalled. The engine sputtered and died, leaving them stranded. After venturing for a while, they stumbled upon an old, decrepit cabin hidden among the trees, its windows shattered and covered with years of grime. Intrigued, they approached the cabin, laughing off the uneasy feeling that crept over them. In a raspy voice, he asked for help. The couple, terrified and unsure of what to do, refused to open the window, as they debated whether to call the police. The man's demeanor shifted abruptly. His friendly facade turned menacing, and he began to pound on the window, screaming incoherently about demands for them to get out of the car. Then came a night when Emily woke to a noise outside her window. The air turned colder and the floor creaked ominously under their weight. Inside, they found relics of a bygone era, rusty tools, old furniture, and photographs that seemed to tell a story of a family that had long since vanished. As curiosity turned to dread, the friends decided to leave, but the door slammed shut behind them, trapping them inside. Paralysis gripped her as she peeked out and saw the figure standing right below her room, staring up at her. She quickly ran to her parents' room, her heart racing. They immediately called the police. When the authorities arrived, they searched the neighborhood but found no trace of the man. However, that very night, a neighbor reported a break-in. The man had been lurking and watching, and the police never found him, leaving the family rattled and terrified to this day. 2. The hidden cabin. During a hot summer, a group of college friends decided to go camping in the woods for a weekend getaway. As they entered, the atmosphere shifted. In a panic, they desperately tried to open the door. 3. The call in the night in a small town. A young couple enjoyed late summer nights filled with laughter and joy. At first, they tried to stay calm. The man stopped at their window, leaning down to peer inside. Just as panic overwhelmed them, headlights appeared in the distance,